because you're making out that you don't know what's going on. You don't. Only an idiot would support that party. An idiot. A proper idiot. So don't come to me and tell me that I'm...
Hello everyone. Just so that you know, I'm just sort of setting up now to try and get things ready. Because you just have to go straight live. Okay, today we're going to do some practice for the PET and the first certificate speaking part 2, which is the picture description. I'm trying to sort it out here on Live Studio today. Okay, so just give me a few minutes to get things sorted out, and because I've not used it in such a long time, so I'm just going to have a quick look what I can do here to optimise everything. It's quite confusing this. Anyway, okay, so here we are. Just to start off with, as usual, I'll let you know my website address, islayidiomas.com here for classes. I hope you can hear me okay, because I have tried to be setting all this up beforehand. Okay, so islayidiomas.com for my website, and classroomgames.net is the website for my... There we go, yes, you can hear me. The website for my materials. So this website is for materials. This website is if you live in Tenerife and you want classes, one-to-one classes there, or in groups or whatever, then this will be on this website here. Please don't forget to like, follow or share. Let me move this over because I'm just looking at my camera on my phone and you can't see it that well, can you? So if I move it there, I think that's better, isn't it? And then I can put that there. Looks a bit better. Yes, okay. I have my telephone here and my screen here. Okay, so PET and first certificate. So PET is slightly easier, the speaking. Speaking part 2, picture description task. So this is the task where you are given a picture and you are asked to describe what you see. Okay, so that's what we're going to look at today. And here we are, pictures that I found today for my... I'll move them in a bit so that let's get them on the right, on the screen, all the way on the screen. Okay, looks a bit better. Okay, so for example, this is an example of something that you might get in the PET exam. You're given a photo and you're asked to describe it. Okay, so for speaking, let me find my other window. Okay, this is something that I have put together to help people basically do an English speaking exam. So let me move it over slightly so it's on screen. So as you can see, we've got this picture at the top of this lady, and she's riding a bike with her dog. Okay, and this is basically a guide to speaking exams. So what you want to do when you're preparing for an exam is you want to try and hit all these answers. Okay? You want to answer the following questions. Where is she? What does she look like? What is she wearing? What kind of a person is she? What is she doing? And how would you feel about doing this activity? And why? Okay, so our first question asks, where is she? So where is this lady? She is in a park. Is it in the UK? Is it in America? Is it in another country? What sort of a country does it look like? It could be, so we can use could in this instance, it could be in England. Because, why? Because it looks a little cold. Okay, so it could be in England because it looks a little cold. It could be in Poland. It could be in Poland also, in the north. So, where is she? She's riding her bike. Well, she's in a park, and it could be in England. What does she look like? Okay, so now we're going to describe the person in the photo. What does she look like? Well, she's got, let's zoom in a little bit for her, so we can see the picture a bit better. She's got short, dark hair. She's got short, dark hair. She's wearing glasses. She has fair skin. Yeah, so that's describing what she looks like. Next question. What is she wearing? What is she wearing? Well, she's wearing a black jacket, a red jumper, and she's got blue trousers and brown boots. Okay, so she's got a black jacket, red t-shirt or jumper, blue trousers and brown boots. What kind of a person is she? What kind of a person is she? Is the next question. Well, we don't know what kind of a person she is, so we would just speculate. Okay, so she looks like, so when we want to talk about what someone appears to be, how they are, we can say she looks like an older person. She looks like she is quite a healthy person. She looks like a person that cares about animals. She looks like, I don't know, she looks like someone that enjoys exercise. Next question. What is she doing? What is she doing? Well, she is riding a bike. She is riding a bike. And she is walking her dog. So there we're going to use present continuous for things that she is doing. She is riding a bike and she is walking her dog. Okay, next thing. How do you feel about doing this activity? How do you feel about doing this activity? Do you enjoy it or not? And why? Well, I don't like riding bikes, so I wouldn't enjoy doing this activity. I would prefer to be walking in the park because I like to walk in nature. I don't particularly want to have a dog, so walking a dog is not something I would enjoy. However, I would enjoy just being on my own in the park. So you're going to put all this together. Let's zoom back out again a little bit so that the whole picture's in. Okay, we're going to put all that together, and then we have a full description of the photo. So, what's she doing? Can you describe this photo? And my answer would be, well, I can see a woman riding a bicycle in a park. She could be in England or in the north of Europe. She is wearing a black jacket, a red sweater or jumper, blue trousers and brown boots. It appears to be cold, or it looks cold, because she has lots of clothes on. She has gloves on her hands as well. She looks like she is a healthy person because she likes to ride her bike, and I think she could be an animal lover as well because she is walking her dog. I wouldn't like to do this activity because I am not interested in riding a bike. It's not what I like to do. Okay, so this is an example of how you would answer a speaking exam for a PET exam, the Cambridge PET exam. You would use these questions, like where is she, what she look like, what is she wearing, what kind of person is she, what is she doing, and how do you feel about doing this activity, to answer or to describe the picture. Okay? You would use those questions to answer and describe the picture. So now we're going to take a look at some other pictures to describe those. So here I have another picture. This is a picture showing some people doing an activity. So you would be asked to describe this picture using the information that we had, or the questions that we had in the last here. I will try and minimize them. Whoop, that's maximizing them. Okay, so that we can put the questions maybe above the picture. Above the picture. If I bring this picture down, there we are. So here we have the questions and then the picture, so that we can see them both. In fact, maybe I'll turn that around. I'll put the questions down here and the picture up here, so we can see a little bit more of the picture. Okay, so here we have our picture, and we're going to use these questions at the bottom. So we have, first of all, you're going to describe the people. So you say, there are 4 people. There are 2 children. There is a granddad, and it looks like a dad. What do they look like? Well, the dad is middle-aged. The 2 children are quite young. The boy has reasonably long dark hair for a boy, with streaks in his hair. The girl has got long blonde or long fair hair. The granddad looks a little older. He's got white hair and he's wearing a striped, sort of light cream coloured shirt. The dad is wearing a blue shirt or blue sweater, and the boy is wearing a green t-shirt. The girl is also wearing some sort of top or t-shirt which is white. What are they doing? Well, they are cooking together. The dad is breaking an egg into a bowl, and the daughter is whisking or mixing something in a pan. We can talk about the foreground and the background too. Okay, so in the foreground you can see fresh vegetables. In the background it looks like there is a sink and a kitchen and maybe a fridge. I can see some pots and pans on the side. What kind of people are they? Well, I think that these people are quite family orientated because they are doing an activity together as a family. Okay? Would I like to do this? Yes, I like to do this kind of activity because I like to teach my children how to cook, or I liked to teach my children how to cook when they were young, because it helps sort of encourage healthy eating habits, and it's also interesting to do as a family. Okay, so there we are. We have described that photo. You have to talk for 1 to 2 minutes, and describing that photo in that way actually makes the time or fills the time more. So if you use the questions here, where are they, what do they look like, what are they wearing or what are they doing, what kind of person are they, and how do you feel about the activity, then that will fill up the minute that you have to do or that you have to speak in your PET speaking exam. So that's for the PET exam. You only have to describe one photo. Okay? Let's have another one. So, this photo. If you have anything that you want to describe, then please feel free to put it in the comments. Yeah, if there's something you can describe about this. And don't forget that if you enjoy or if you find this useful, then don't forget to like, follow and share. You can find information about my classes on easyidiomas.com and any materials to help you do to practice for your tests, etc., and to practice English on classroomgames.net. Okay, today we are covering the PET and the first certificate speaking part 2, which is the picture description task. So let's go on to our next picture. This picture we're going to describe using the same conventions. So we're going to answer, sorry I can't put it in the middle of the screen, but these are the questions. So we're going to answer the following questions. Where are the people? What do they look like? What are they wearing? What are they doing? How do you feel about doing this activity? And why? Okay, you have to speak for 1 minute. 1 minute using the photo that you are given, and we're going to use these questions to help us speak for 1 minute. I'll put them at the bottom there so we can see them while we're going. Okay, so first of all, who can you see? There are 3 people. There are 3 people. What do they look like? Well, there is a mum and a dad, and it looks like they have their daughter. They all have dark hair. The daughter has long hair, and the parents have short hair. What are they wearing? Okay, well, the mum is wearing a peach-coloured top, and she has, I think they're blue jeans. The dad is wearing a light blue shirt. Maybe it's checked, I can't really tell from here. They are having lunch. In the foreground, so at the front of the picture, I can see a plate of food, maybe tempura or something. If you know what the food is, you can say. And there is a bowl of rice. In the background, I can see the kitchen, where they look like they are at home eating in their dining room. I think that this is in China or Asia, another Asian country, because they are using chopsticks and they are eating Chinese food, and they look Asian. They have that aspect about them. So it could be somewhere in Asia. What kind of people are they? Well, they look very happy. They look like family people. They seem to be enjoying having their food together and eating together. How do you feel about doing this activity? Okay, well, I think I like doing this activity. I like eating with my family. I like eating with my friends because it encourages healthy eating habits. Okay, so there again, I have talked, I have spoken for a minute or a minute and a half on that photo, using the questions that we have here. Okay, the questions: where are they? What do they look like? What they're wearing? What kind of people are they? What are they doing? And how do I feel about it? So giving my own opinion about the photo, about what's happening in the photo. So I'll do one more, and then I will go over the first certificate, the difference between the preliminary English test, which is the PET exam, the Cambridge PET exam. That's level B1, and the first certificate exam, which is level B2. Okay, you're expected to do a little bit more for the B2. So once again, for anyone that's just come in, we're using the questions here to try and speak for a minute or a minute and a half on the photo. Okay, so let's move to the next photo. In this photo, there are 4 people to describe, aren't there? So this is quite good. Okay, so we're going to use the questions below, and we're going to speak about this photo. So, first of all, where are they? Well, they look like they're in their home, their living room. There are 4 people. It looks like there are 2 parents, a mum and a dad, and an older daughter and a younger son. What are they wearing? Well, the mum is wearing a green t-shirt. The dad is wearing a blue polo or t-shirt. You could also say t-shirt for that. The daughter is wearing a pink top or a pink t-shirt and the brother is wearing a blue top or blue t-shirt and brown trousers.
So anybody thinking that
They all have dark hair.
other than
The mum and the daughter have longer hair.
extracting money from stupid,
Well,
then
what are they doing? Well, they are playing a board game
see the
in their living
in
room.
front of your eyes, then
In the foreground,
that's why you're on the right wing. Because
we can see that the board game is on a
if
table.
you're looking at me
I think it may be Monopoly. It could be Monopoly.
making
So it's speculating there. It could be, it might be, it may be. Yeah. In the background, I can see a chair, an armchair. Okay.
a video about the
So speak about the foreground, speak about the background as well. You can even go outside the window. I can see, I don't know, a barrier. Maybe it's a deck up there. Okay. How do you feel about doing this activity? Well, I like to play board games. I love
should I say
playing board games.
should I say
I think that board games bring people together and they're lots of fun. So I would like to do this activity because I enjoy spending time with my friends.
of lies,
Again, I've just spoken for between 1 and 2 minutes, over probably, talking about this photo. Okay, using the prompts given. So,
need to
where are all my things?
Boris Johnson exploited
Here we are.
in order
So, for anyone that's just joined, there we are. This is my website, isladiomas.com for classes. Yeah, this is for classes if you live in Tenerife. And classroomgames.net is for materials. So I have materials available that you can download and use to help practice English. Also for teachers and stuff they can use in the classroom. Please like, follow and share if you find this useful. We're covering the PET and the First Certificate of English Speaking Part 2, which is the picture description task. Okay. So, let's continue.
a deal was done
When you're doing the First Certificate exam,
by the party
it's a little bit different
for or by the members
because you're expected to do a little bit more than just describe the photo. You're expected to compare two photos. So we have this schema here, key points. You're going to describe the scene, describe any people, describe abstract elements. Abstract elements are going to be things like feelings or, you know, what the weather might be like, where it could be, speculating. Yeah, so it could be Poland, or it could be in a chef's kitchen, or it could be whatever. It looks like is a good thing to say. It could be, it might be, it may be. Give your opinion. Give an opinion about the picture, what the people are doing. I think, in my opinion, I don't like this. You know, give your reasons for doing it, and really, really important, if you make a mistake in the moment in a speaking exam and you realise that you have made a mistake, correct yourself. Correct yourself. Yeah, you're going to correct yourself. It will show the examiner that yes, you do understand what is going on and that you've made a mistake and that there's something wrong and you have corrected it. So you will actually receive points for that. So now we've got two more photos here. We've got a photo of a man. So in the first certificate, you're asked to describe the photo and compare and contrast it with another photo. So you're given two photos. Here we have two photos. And so, that's it. And you have to speak for longer. You usually have to speak for 2 to 3 minutes for the first certificate. So, we have our usual questions, our questions that we had at the top. Let me try and put them on the screen at the same time. Yeah, but we've got these two photos to look at. So, where is he? He's in his living room in his house. He's sat on a sofa in the foreground, and behind him, in the background, I can see shelves. And on the shelves there are photos and a lamp and some plants. So to me it seems like, it looks like it is his living room. He has dark hair, short dark hair, and he looks reasonably young. He has tanned skin. He is wearing a blue t-shirt and jeans, and he is holding and feeding his baby. His baby is crying. He looks like he's a new dad, and I loved doing this activity when my children were younger, because we got to spend time together. In the other photo, I can see a man with grey hair. He is sitting in his office. In the background there are some shelves with some, I don't know, maybe it's a newspaper office, or maybe it's an estate agent's, with pictures of houses. He is reading some papers and working on his computer. He's wearing a shirt and a tie, so he looks like he is in a working environment, and he is at work. Now we're going to compare them now. So it says on the thing, say which role you prefer and why. You will always be given a question like that. Say which role you prefer and why. Okay, so I would prefer to be feeding the baby, because in my opinion, it is less stressful than working in the office. Or you could say, in my opinion, or I think that feeding the baby, or feeding a baby and looking after a new child, can be very stressful, and therefore doing something that is working in an office and something that you do every day might be easier to do or to cope with. So that's a different opinion. Working in an office, maybe not as fulfilling as bringing up a new child or meeting your new child. Very stressful. I have twin babies. Do you, Karen? You have twins. I have a 19-year-old and a 21-year-old, and they've both left me now to go to university. So I'm now at the time of my life where I can relax a little bit more. But it does get a bit lonely sometimes, not having your children around. But yeah, I mean, that's an opinion you could have. I would find it very stressful to be looking after the baby. Do you find, are your twins your first twins, or your second or a second child? Because you hope to be over here soon. Excellent. Or you hope my children will be over. I'm actually going to see my children in a few weeks, in about 2 weeks. I'm going back to the UK just for a week to visit. But they will be here in summertime. They will be here. But yeah, I mean, I found that having my second daughter was a lot less stressful than a new baby, than my first daughter. Because I knew what I was doing, basically. But I can imagine with twins, it's going to be difficult. I won't wish that on anyone, especially as a new mother. Anyway, so that's this particular one. I have found some others. I've got some others which we're going to have a look at here. Can we see these well? Can I actually make them bigger? That's better. Okay, so let's find the first one. Where is it? Okay, so here is a first certificate question. And the question you're going to get is to describe the two photos. And it said, what might the people be enjoying about doing these sports? So we're going to describe the two photos, and then we're going to compare the photos, and we're going to talk about what might the people be enjoying about doing those particular sports. The good thing that I love about the first certificate exam is there are 3 soccer players. Excellent, yeah. 3 soccer players. If you're in the UK, if you're in England, then you call them football players. Soccer in America, football in the UK. But it doesn't matter. For a speaking exam, you can say either. So, I've got my massive cup of tea here. Yeah. So yeah, there are 3 soccer players. What they're wearing? They're wearing 2 of them have red t-shirts. Cheers to you too. They have 2 red t-shirts, and one is wearing a blue t-shirt, and they all have dark pants, dark shorts on. What else can we say about them? There are two guys are white, and there's 1 black player. You could say a player of colour as well. They're wearing red and blue t-shirts, yeah. So you could say that they are playing for different teams. They are opposing teams as well. Where are they? Where do we think they are? Are they in a park? Are they on a football pitch? I mean, in the foreground, there's just the ball and some grass. But in the background, we can see trees, maybe. Bushes is another word we could use. Trees, bushes. You know, different ways to describe that. So, they are exercising. What are they doing? They're exercising. They're playing football. They're tackling is a good word as well. Tackling. Tackling is what... Well, I can't actually point on the screen. I haven't got a pointer. The player on the right-hand side, who has the ball at his feet, the blue player... Well, so he is tackling the player with the blue shirt. So that's when you're trying to get the ball off another player. You're tackling them. Okay. The bottom picture. Well, there are two cyclists and there are 2 people. They are riding their bikes. They are wearing helmets. I can't really see too much what else they're wearing in that photo. I don't think it's coming up on the screen as easily, is it? Because if you clear the comments off the screen, you'll be able to see the picture a little bit better. Because I've got it on my telephone, sort of here, yeah. So I can see what you're seeing. So yeah, there are two cyclists. They are riding their bikes through the countryside. Yeah, I can see hills in the background or mountains in the background. In the foreground, there is a dirt track. So, we're comparing the 2 pictures. So, the footballers are playing in a place where the the scenery is or it's flatter, whereas the cyclists look to be out in the open in the countryside or something, so more out in the open air. What might the people be enjoying about doing these sports? Well, the footballers are team players, so they're playing together, whereas cycling is a little bit more solitary. They have each other, but they can't really talk. The footballers might enjoy the fact that they have their friends around them, and it might be more competitive for them. Okay, so there we go. That's our next question. Our next one. Let's find another one. Okay. Here we have. Let's see if I can make it a bit. I can. Let's have a look. So here we have. On the first certificate, we've got the question at the top, which says, why might these people have chosen to be alone? And then at the bottom, it says, Candidate B. Candidate B, do you enjoy spending time alone? Why or why not? Now, this is what they do in the first certificate exam as well. So after one candidate or the first person has described their photos, they then ask the second person a question relating to their photos. Okay, so for anyone that's just joining now that hasn't seen this before, we were talking about this earlier, which is basically advice to passing the speaking exam and what to use. So when you're describing a photo, try and use these questions to describe a photo. So where is the person? What do they look like? What are they wearing? What kind of a person? More abstract things. What kind of a person do you think they are? What are they doing? How do you feel about the activity that they are doing, and why? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? Okay. Then, so here are the key points. You describe the scene, describe the people, describe any abstract elements, feelings, whatever, speculate, give opinions, give reasons for your opinions, and if you make a mistake, always correct yourself. If you realise you've made the mistake and you know what you've done wrong, then you need to correct yourself as well. Okay, so let's go back to, once again, if you find this useful, then don't forget to like, follow and share my content. I will be putting all this video on my YouTube channel. I've just started uploading the lives on YouTube. I am on @IslaIdiomas on all my socials, on YouTube, on Instagram, on Twitch, on X, Facebook, everything. There's too many now, too many social media channels. So if you want for recordings, live recordings of any of my classes, you will find on YouTube at the moment. I'll probably put them at other places. If you want any of the materials that I use, you can download a lot of stuff on this website, classroomgames.net. If you're in Tenerife and you want classes, then I have an academy here, and this is the website for my academy. We also do summer camp as well for children, okay, in July and August. So if you're out on holiday and you want your children to learn English, then drop them into our summer camp. We do English summer camp. It's all in English, all the activities. Okay, so let's go back to this. This is our first certificate. Hugo. Who's Hugo? Yaisa. Why did he put Hugo? Is this someone I know? Because I know a few Ugos.
Thinking that form is anything other than another
Or is this one of my students that's watching? I don't know. Anyway, let's go. Why might these people have chosen to be alone is the question for this one. And we're going to describe the two photos. So this is a first certificate exam question. First certificate speaking part 2. The speaking part 1 is when they ask you questions about yourself. Okay, so they ask you questions about where do you live, what are your favourite hobbies, things like that. We've covered that in a different video, in a different live, which you can find on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. I will be doing others of the speaking part 1 as well. But this part is specifically for the speaking part 2. So we're going to describe the first, the top one. The top one, I can see a man. He is sitting on a rock and it looks like it's in a forest. He is wearing a hoodie. This sort of jumper, which has a thing over your head, this is called a hood. Okay, capucho is a hood, and that type of garment is called a hoodie. Okay, so he's wearing a hoodie and he's wearing jeans and looks like possibly trainers, and he's got a brown backpack, rucksack, whatever you want to call it, on his back. He's carrying stuff. He looks like he is hiking. He is sitting on a rock next to 2 pine trees in the foreground, and in the background you can see more trees, but the weather is a little bit foggy, so you can't see too much. The man in the second picture is relaxing on his sofa, and he is reading a book. He has dark skin. He is bald. He hasn't got hair. He is bald. He is wearing a black or navy blue t-shirt and shorts. He is lounging or relaxing, or I don't know, however you want to call it, on his sofa. He's reading a book. So why might these people have chosen to be alone is the question. The man in the top might want to be out in nature and might want quiet, might want a bit of silence. So he has chosen to go for a walk and be on his own, to breathe in the air. The man in the second photo is reading and relaxing at home, so he prefers a more comfortable environment, and he might just want to concentrate on his book, listen to music, because in the background at the side I can see a pair of headphones, and he looks like he's more comfortable. The people have different ideas. So what the guy in the bottom and the guy in the top, they have different ideas as to what they enjoy to do, whether they enjoy being comfortable and inside or going outside. So our question to candidate B, which you can see at the bottom, it says, do you enjoy spending time alone? Why or why not? Is when you'd be talking about your own preferences. So do you enjoy spending time alone? Yes, I do. I like spending time alone. Sometimes at weekends I don't go out at all, because I like to be on my own for a little bit and to be in my own company. However, sometimes it's nice to be out with your friends, to go and visit some people. Okay, So this is an example of the speaking part 2. Yeah. We're going to do one more. Do one more for the first certificate, speaking part 2. Have another cup of tea. So here we've got 2 pictures. So we're going to use our schema, these questions to describe the photos, and then the key points to compare and contrast. Okay, so we're describing the scene, describing the people, describing abstract elements, speculating, giving our opinions, giving reasons for our opinions, and correcting ourselves if we make a mistake. Okay, don't forget to correct yourself. You should always correct yourself. So, in this picture, let's see if we can make this a little bit bigger, because we did in the last one. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So we've got our 2 photos, and we have to say what's in each of the photos, and then we have to talk about how do these people feel about studying in this way. We're going to have to talk for about 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, so let's time it now. It's now exactly 9 o'clock. Okay, how do these people feel about studying this way? Right, in photo 1, I can see a group of children. There are quite a few children, about 4, 5, 6 children, and they seem to be part of a bigger group. This could be somewhere like Africa, or a second or third world country, because there seem to be a lot of children in one class. They're working on the floor. So this indicates to me too that they are they're having, you know, they haven't got a lot of money in their school, so it's bigger classes and not as many resources. The children are all dressed wearing t-shirts and trousers. Some have shirts on. There's a boy with a checked shirt. So this is a good word you can use, a checked shirt. When you're describing clothes and stuff like that, just make it a little bit more interesting. They are looking at photos and magazines. So maybe they are doing a project together. In the second photo, you have a man or a young man, maybe a teenager or someone at university, who is in a cubicle. He's in like this is called a cubicle, and he is, it might be a cafe or it might be a student sort of study area, because you can see there are other cubicles, and in the background one has a cup of coffee in it. He is working on his computer and he looks really, really stressed. What's that for, Reverend? A perfect exercise for the TOEIC speaking that we'll do in the following months. Yeah, these are really good. I'll finish this and then I'll just show you the information I have on the other page. So he is looking at his computer. So how do these people feel about studying in this way? Well, the children, although they have less resources, they seem to be having more fun studying because they are all working together. The second picture, he looks like he is more stressed and he seems to be having more trouble studying in this picture. Then we have the question, so that's, I've been speaking for 3 minutes there, so that's 3 minutes. So that's the speaking task done. Then you have candidate B. Are you a good student? Why or why not? Well, I hope I'm a good student. I hope I'm a good student because I teach most of the time, but I do study as well, and I hope that I listen when people try to teach me stuff. I really hope I do, but only other people could say that. Okay, Revan, I'm going to show you. This is my guide to speaking exams. So this is something I give out to my students when they're preparing for a speaking exam, which I made a few years back. I will probably upload it to my. You can take a screenshot if you want. If I can try and get it all on the screen, but I'm going to try and upload it to my website as well. There we go. So this is my guide to speaking exams, and it's about describing a photo. If you describe in the PET exam, you will just be asked to describe a photo. It depends on the level of what you're doing. In the first certificate, you're asked to compare and contrast. So I've got the two parts on here. So you use these questions. Basically, you try to have these questions in your head when you're answering or when you're speaking about a photo, and it will help you speak for the time that you've got to speak for. Usually in PET it's 1 minute to 2 minutes. In the first certificates it's 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, so you're using these questions. Well, for this particular picture it's got a woman in it. So where is she? Where is she? What does she look like? What is she wearing? Usually I say, what is she doing next? What's she doing? What kind of person is she? And how do you feel about doing that activity? So try to say something a little bit more abstract. So you're not just describing the items in the picture, you're also giving an abstract answer as well about how you feel about it. Why do you feel that way? Because you can then talk about different things, get more language in there. Key points to remember when you're doing any sort of picture description task is to describe. Why has this come up on the side? Describe the scene. Describe any people in the scene. Describe abstract elements, so feelings, etc. Speculate. Where are they? Why are they there? You know, that this photo that we've got here, it could be in England because it looks cold, and the trees don't seem to have as many leaves on them at the moment. It could be autumn in England. It looks like autumn. Give opinions. Say what you think, in your opinion, what you like, what you don't like, how you feel about what the activity it's done. Give reasons for your opinions. Always give reasons. Say why. If you make a mistake, correct yourself there and then. Correct yourself in the moment. As soon as you so something I try to avoid is describing things that I don't know enough words to describe it. Yeah, but you can, for things like describing a person, what are they wearing, what do they look like, you can pad out a speaking with quite simple stuff and have key phrases. So this, to speculate, it could be, it looks like. Opinions, I think, in my opinion, I like or I don't like. Yeah. One thing that someone told me when I was doing my B2 for Spanish, which was really, really useful, I always remember this, is she said to me, pick something in the photo that's really small and just use the phrase, I'm trying to remember what it was now, yo puedo ver muy definitivamente. And that was it. It was just that particular phrase, because you can apply it to anything. So, for example, in the picture of the man feeding his baby here, you could say, Oh, in the background, I can see a book, a photo, and a lamp, and some plants. So it looks like, so we're speculating, it looks like he's sitting in his living room. So using things in the background. Should I find key phrases as a valid to describe most of the pictures in a generic way? Yeah, that's a good thing to do, is like have certain things that you can just pull out of the air, just use for any speaking. So describing what a person looks like. What's their hair colour? How long is that? You know, I can see a man. He's got short, dark hair. He looks like he is a young. He is quite young. He's in his 20s. This is I really like this when you're describing people in his or her 20s, 30s. Let me write this down here. In his or her 20s, or you could say early 20s. Yeah, or you could say late 20s. Old man or elder man? I would say an older man. Elderly man. Instead of older, let's see. So you would say older or elderly. Okay, older or elderly. Yeah, so in his or her early 20s or late 20s. You can use the word add. Oh, another word that I love. I always teach to my students ish as a termination for any adjective. Okay? If you're talking about anything and you're not quite sure, you can use ish. In English, if something is a little bit like something but not 100%, so you could say he's 20-ish, or you could say he's 25-ish. If you don't know the exact age, I could say, okay, he looks like he's around 30-ish. He's wearing a bluish t-shirt and trousers. You know, you can, any adjective you can put ish on the end of, and it means a little bit like. Okay, it's an excellent, and it sounds really, really English. It sounds native. It's like a thing that you would do. Yeah, that's a really good thing to know. And my cup of tea. It's a bit warmish now. It's not hot anymore. It's warmish. Yeah. It's been sat there an hour. So for questions for pictures like these, if it's a first certificate level, if it's B2 level, then you will be expected to compare and give more abstract opinions, where if it's a B1 level, then you'll be then just saying what people are wearing, what they're doing is good enough. But yeah, you can stick in little things like ish, or in his or her 20s, in his or her 30s. It's nice. It just sounds nice. So let's, as I said, I'll probably try and upload that the speaking exam thing to my classroom games website over the next maybe tomorrow, because I'm actually off work tomorrow. Yay! Here in the Canary Islands, it's Dia de Canarias tomorrow, so we have a festivo. Okay, so that's why I'm doing another live tomorrow. I have it programmed in the live events. We're going to do error correction for present continuous versus present simple, how to recognise the two when you're having to do grammar exercises, and how to go about doing those. So that'll be tomorrow. I think it's about midday. Okay. Right, so we have another two pictures here. Let me see if I can make them a little bit bigger. Oh, still want to see the questions. Okay, so this is a first certificate one, so we're going to be comparing and contrasting. We've got our question which says, why are people communicating in these ways? So that's the two things. So it's about communication. In the first picture, I can see a coloured girl, or a dark-skinned girl, or a person of colour. Ways that you can describe black people in a polite way, so you're not. This is the acceptable way, or the acceptable language to use. So you can see a coloured girl, a person of colour, looking at her computer. She seems to be talking on. She seems to be. There's another one. Seems to be is a nice phrase to use. Seems to be talking to 4 friends on maybe FaceTime or some sort of communication or chatting service. She is lying on her bed, and she's wearing a white jumper. She's got long dark hair in plaits, or I'm not sure whether they're dreadlocks. Dreadlocks are what? What's the difference between it seems to and it looks like? It's pretty much the same. It looks like it's when something. Well, actually, no. We could say a person looks like, but if you say it looks like, we're talking about the same thing. We're talking about it seems to be. It's, in my opinion, or the way that I am interpreting this is, it's just synonymous. It seems to be, it looks like, are synonymous. So they're just different ways you can say the same thing. So if we look at here, we've got give opinion. Oh, it could be it looks like. Here I could put it seems to be, or it seems like is another way you could just say the same thing. Let me get my picture back again. So she seems to be talking to friends on a chatting service of some kind. She is lying on a bed and relaxing and wearing a jumper. It looks like it is her bedroom. And in the bottom photo, I can see one woman. She is wearing a suit, a dark suit, and a dark top, and glasses. She has long blonde hair, and in the background you can see a plant, and I don't know what that white square is. Maybe it's a wall of some kind. She seems to be in an office. What is the English word to describe the grey thing on the bed? Okay, that would be, I don't know whether it's a duvet. A duvet is the thing that keeps you warm at night, that's full of feathers, or the sort of like cotton or something inside. This could be called a throw if it's a thin thing that goes on top of the duvet. A duvet tends to be thick. I think it's about alrededor or something like that. That could be a throw. It could be called a throw. But yeah, you could say duvet and you'd probably get away with it in a speaking exam. Let me put that on here. There's a duvet, spelt like that, or throw. Throw is something that goes over your sofa or over your bed to cover stuff. Okay, to cover your sofa or cover your bed. So the second woman is sitting on a leather sofa. I could say a leather sofa. she has a computer on her knee, an Apple computer. They're both using Apple computers, in fact, aren't they? Because they have the trackpad on them. So I don't know whether this is an advert for Apple as well, this particular question. Yeah, so the lady, the black lady in the top picture, as you can see, her hair, these are plaits, but also if you want to, you know, Rastafarians, they have their hair where it's twisted and formed into, it's sort of like, it's like plaits, but they're all matted together. These are called, I don't know if you know, these are called dreadlocks. Okay, so that's a good word to add if you didn't know it already. Dreadlocks, they're called. So if you ever see a picture of a black person with dreadlocks, or even a white person, white people have dreadlocks these days, quite a lot of them as well. Anyway, so she is talking on the phone in the bottom photo, and the woman at the top is talking with her family or with friends on FaceTime or some other kind of chatting service. Zoom, maybe, could be Zoom. Why are people communicating in these ways? Well, the person communicating with their family might want to speak to more than one person at once, so they are using, and they might want to see their faces as well. I think one of the really nice things these days with chatting services and FaceTime and stuff like that is that you can actually see who you're talking to, because for me, speaking to my daughters, I've not seen them for such a long time. They're back in England, but I get to speak to them every other day on FaceTime. So it means you miss your family less, I suppose. Whereas in the bottom picture, she seems to be communicating for work purposes. Though she is smiling, so she might be talking to her family or a friend that's just phoned up at the last minute. Candidate B. So our question for candidate B at the bottom: do you talk on the phone much? Why or why not? Do you talk on the phone much? Do any of you talk on the phone anymore? I don't really talk on the phone that much. Occasionally I do when people ring me up to talk about classes for work. Yeah, don't really talk. Maybe send voice messages on WhatsApp, because we use WhatsApp a lot here. I know they use Snapchat in the UK and in France, but here in Spain, WhatsApp is the one that everyone uses. But yeah, I mean, I don't talk on the phone much anymore, because we tend to use messenger services or chat a lot more. So I send text messages because people will reply when they have time. Nowadays we use apps to communicate with each other rather than talk. Yeah, we do. It's probably because it's free, isn't it? I mean, mind you, most call packages now are free, but you use your data rather than your calls. God, when I was younger, we didn't have all that. Okay, so there we go. That's another first certificate one. Right, let's. What time are we on? 1 hour 13. So we'll do one more before we go. Okay. Once more for anyone that's just joining. If you're interested in classes, then easyidiomas.com is my academy in the south of Tenerife. Classroomgames.net is where I put materials. Okay, I produce a lot of materials for teachers and also for students. In time, I will sort of put everything together in a book that can be downloaded or something. It's all free on there. I believe that people should share stuff, and I make a lot of stuff. My master, when I did my master, was I sort of specialised in materials development. So and I've got so much stuff on my hard drive. I'm trying to little by little put it on this website, and everything I put on it's free at least for 6 months, if not forever. So if you sign up, whenever I put something on there, I usually put on a TikTok video to announce it. So if you follow me, then you will get notifications when I put things on there. So yeah, like, follow and share if you like any of this stuff. I will be putting up the speaking guide to speaking. I will put that up tomorrow when I have a moment, which has all the information that I've been talking about today. I'm also doing another TikTok live tomorrow, but it's for lower level. It's for present continuous, present simple, error corrections, and how to tell the difference when you're doing grammar. Okay, so this will be going on tomorrow, and I'll probably post a video to hello Hitchem, how are you? Right, so as I was saying with the guide, we're using these questions to answer or to talk about the photos. We're using them as prompts. So we're describing a photo. So we're going to describe the scene by saying what someone looks like, what they're wearing, what they are doing, and then describing abstract elements, speculating about what could be happening or where they could be, talking about how things make us feel, give our opinions and give reasons for those opinions, and then if we do make a mistake while we're speaking, then we're going to correct ourselves as well, because if you correct yourself, you are acknowledging that you realise that you made a mistake, and you are showing them that you know what was wrong and that you've corrected it. Okay, so we'll go to our last photo. Okay. It says, why might these people be spending time outside is the question, and then you've got pictures of people. These are very, very typical for certificate speaking exams. So we've got 2 pictures. In the first picture, the top picture, I can see a mum with her child. They have their back to the camera, back to us, and they are sitting on the side of a river, and they are feeding the ducks. So we're using present continuous to describe what is going on in the photo. The mum has dark hair, and she is wearing a light coloured top, and it looks like shorts maybe, because I can see her bare leg. The daughter is also wearing a light coloured dress or top, and her hair is blonde. It looks like it's in bunchies. Yeah, bunchies is when you have one here and one here. Okay, they're called bunchies. If you have one at the back, just one like that at the back, that is my hair's a bit short. It is a ponytail. Ponytail or bunchies. 2 are bunchies. So they're sitting on the edge of. Can you type? Is it bunchies? Yes, that's exactly right. Bunchies, as you put there. I'll type it in the comments. Bunchies. There you go. So she has bunchies in her hair because she's got the 2 of them here. They are feeding the ducks. So they could be. Where could they be? They could be in the UK. They could be in Europe. It's you get a lot of places like this, rivers, grass at the side in Europe. In the bottom photo, we can see a man, and he is sat on the grass. So my accent is a Manchester accent, so I say grass rather than grass. Okay, this is from the north of England. However, other things I will say with a southern accent because I lived in London for many years. So I will say north, but I will say grass, which is quite northern. Anyway, so there is, in the second photo, the man is sitting on the grass. He has a backpack, or I think it could be a parapente, which is paragliding, or parachuting even. Parachuting is when you jump out of a plane. Paragliding is when you go off a cliff and you just sort of float down. So you've got paragliding or parascending as well. There's different ones. Paragliding and parachute. Yeah, parachute is what you have over you. That's a parachute. Paragliding, parachuting. Yeah, parachuting is jumping out of a plane, particularly. Whereas paragliding is going off a cliff or off the side of a hill or something like that. So it looks like he has been paragliding or parachuting because you can see the parachute on the floor. He is in a very solitary place. He is looking out at maybe the edge of an ocean, and there are lots of mountains. Maybe it's in Indonesia because the terrain looks more mountainous there. It could be I don't know, maybe it could be the north of Spain. I don't know. I've not been up to the north much, only to A Coruña. I need to go. So he looks quite young. What else can we say about him? He is wearing maybe a t-shirt and shorts, I think, and he looks like he's wearing glasses as well. So it says, why might these people be spending time outside? Well, the mother and the daughter in the first picture, did you say looking out at? What is the difference with looking at without at? Okay, well, look at, I look at my telephone, I look at something, is mirando a algo. He is looking out at because it's a big view. So he's looking out at this big view. So either is fine. You could say he's looking at the view. But yeah, I said he's looking out at, which is fine as well. Always different ways to say different things, aren't there? So what we are replying to now, why might people be spending time outside? Well, the mother and daughter could be spending time together, so they are passing time at the edge of the river. You're welcome. And they are feeding the ducks, spending time together. Whereas the boy in the second photo, the man in the second photo, he has been doing a sporting activity. He likes to do it in the open air, but he's doing it more on his own. It's a more solitary activity. Candidate B question in this case, it says, do you spend much time outside? Why or why not? Well, do any of you spend time outside, and why do you do it? Can you answer the question yourselves? Do you spend much time outside? Why or why not? I spend some time outside. My favourite sport, the one that I do a lot of, is diving. I go scuba diving. So I go at weekends when I have time off. I will go scuba diving, and I spend time outside when I do that. But other times I like to spend alone in my house. I like to actually relax at the weekends sometimes too. So there we go. So we've done quite a few first certificate ones. This is an example of what you might have in a pet exam. yeah, where you just have one photo and you have to describe it. We've been using the guide to speaking exams, which I'm going to try and upload to my website tomorrow. Okay, so guide to speaking exams. I'm going to have to organise my website and start putting materials up for this. This live will be available again on my YouTube channel, which is at Isla Idiomas, for every single social media I have, all of them. I have at Isla Idiomas, okay? islaidiomas.com is the website for my, why does it do that? It's the website for my academy here in the south of Tenerife. So if you want to come for actual clases presenciales, then I do those. We're actually finishing in a couple of weeks, and then I'll be doing summer camp during July and August. So if you have children and you're coming on holiday, then feel free to drop them off, and we do English summer camp. And then classroomgames.net, this is for all the materials. So the speaking guide that I just showed you a second ago, that will go on classroomgames.net, because that's specifically for materials I have done, not really because of the work. I'm not sure I understand. You're quite welcome. Quite welcome for my time and dedication. I do like to teach anyway. PET and First Certificate, so that's what we've been doing today. PET and First Certificate Speaking Part 2, the picture description task. So if you've not actually seen the whole live, you can go and watch it on the YouTube channel. It's an hour and a half. And here's some extra words that we have here that we did today. In his or her early 20s, or older, elderly. Using ish at the end of adjectives is great way to sound a little bit more native. Okay, so don't forget, like, follow and share. I will be doing a live tomorrow. Okay, so live, I'll write it here, tomorrow at where's me at? Okay, at 12 p.m. This is Canarian time, so that will be British summertime, or it will be 1 p.m. Peninsular. Yeah, so that will be about 1 o'clock, because I'm off work tomorrow, so I have a day off, and we're going to be covering present simple versus continuous. Present simple versus continuous. We'll be doing some grammar, some error correction on that, so that we can show. I have this, it's called English Tense Algebra. So I put everything in colours, and it sort of makes things a little bit easier to understand. And anyway, thank you very much for joining me today. Hopefully you can join me tomorrow. If you liked this, then please drop me a follow, because I'm trying to get up to 10,000 followers, so that I can start putting stuff in playlists, and also to enter the creator program, because I'm trying to raise money for Tenerife charities and for people that need, or that can't pay for English classes, to try and fund English classes for people that don't have as much money, because everyone needs a little bit of help. So that's my aim. I'm trying to just get up to 10,000 followers and do that. So if you do know anyone that will find my content useful, then please follow on this account. Also, I put all my lives on and stuff like that, so you can follow along and find out when those are on. I announce all the materials I put on my TikTok. I tend to use TikTok more than others, so, and obviously the word of the day. So yeah, that's it for today. If there is anything else you want me to cover, if you're doing an exam or you're doing anything in particular and you would like me to do a class on it, then please go on any of my my videos and just put a comment on. I will see it. Or you can send me a message. Just send me a message and just say, oh, can you please do this? I've got an exam coming up. And then, yeah, because it will benefit everyone, you know, so I will do it. So thank you once again for coming. See you tomorrow if you're going to come along tomorrow. And yeah, bye bye.
Because it's not run for